Hello, welcome to a new video layout. So a while ago I saw a comment. It was under a compilation of every time Live and Learn played in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And the comment said they were really annoyed with how often it played because there was no time for other shadow leitmotifs in the movie. So I'm going to explain to the commenter why that's stupid. Okay, not stupid, but why I think it's wrong. Now, in the movie, in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 by Paramount Studios, what's the first thing we hear the first time we see Maria? It's Maria playing Live and Learn on the guitar. So that sets up Maria to be at least somewhat correlated with the song Live and Learn. And those 4 notes at the end are some of the first notes we hear once Shadow breaks out of his tube, as heard here. This immediately shows us that Shadow is closely correlated with Maria. It sets up the fact that his motivations are going to be closely tied to her in some way. And we see this throughout the movie. His main motivation is to bring justice or revenge for Maria. So the fact that the Live and Learn motif plays during Shadow's scenes a lot makes sense because his motivations are hinging so heavily on Maria. And he even says to her while she's alive, when they're looking at the stars, he wouldn't know what he would do without her. So what I'm getting at here is, at this point in time in the movies, Shadow's identity, he doesn't really have it yet. He doesn't really have his own identity. Because his main motivation is to bring justice for Maria. And if you remember, originally, him and Gerald, and of course Ivo, because he's there too, we're all going to die as soon as the cannon fired on the Earth. So why would his own motif be playing if his identity and motivation is so closely linked to Maria, and he has no other motivation outside of bringing vengeance for Maria, thus killing himself in the process? And don't forget who directed the Sonic movies, specifically Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Jeff Fowler. He worked on Shadow the Hedgehog's game, where, if you remember, he has his own song. It's the theme song of his game, and the name of the song is I Am All of Me. So it clearly hinges a lot on his identity. And if my knowledge is correct, Shadow the Hedgehog, the game, centers a lot around Shadow the Hedgehog, the character, finding his own identity, which we don't get to see in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. He doesn't really grapple with who he is. There is that one moment when he is sitting beneath the stars with Maria, when he asks her if she thinks he's dangerous. Quick editor's note here. While I was looking for footage for the video, in that scene with Maria and Shadow under the stars, he does actually say he doesn't know what he is.
Maria, do you think I'm dangerous?
What are you talking about?
The way the scientists look at me, I can tell they're afraid. Like I'm the horrible thing from that movie we watched. I don't know what I am.
So the themes of him trying to find his own identity are there. They're just not prominent in the movie. So with that in mind, Live and Learn playing every time Shadow's on screen, closely correlating him with Maria, and his identity not being explored very much throughout the movie, it just makes sense that he wouldn't have his own theme song playing just yet. And in the post-credit scene even, once he has, saved the planet and realizes he doesn't need to hunt for justice for Maria anymore, we still get the Live and Learn theme. Clearly showing that he hasn't put any thought into who he is yet. But I think that's a good direction that the inevitable Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off could go. And throughout that, so long as it's directed by Jeff Fowler, this guy is the GOAT, I swear. So long as it's directed by Jeff Fowler, I feel like we're definitely going to hear the I Am All of Me theme throughout the show or movie or whatever it is. So while I do understand your complaint, and I do understand why you're upset that Shadow's motifs didn't play much in the movie, or at all. Thematically speaking, it makes sense that they hasn't happened yet. Because his main motif, his main theme of I Am All of Me, centers heavily around who he is as a character, him trying to find himself, and that was not his motivation at all in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 by Paramount Studios. And whoever that commenter guy is out there, I'm not actually mad or upset at you. Like I said, I understand your frustrations. I just disagree with you. I feel like I was going to say something else. So TLDR, the only theme Shadow had in Sonic the Hedgehog was Live and Learn, which is closely correlated with Maria because the first thing we see of Maria is her playing Live and Learn on the guitar. And Shadow's main motivation is getting justice / revenge for Maria. So it would make sense that the music she played would be his motif for the movie. And Shadow's main theme, I Am All of Me, centers around finding his own identity, which is not a primary motivation of his in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 because he's focused on getting revenge. And thus, Shadow's theme in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 being Live and Learn makes thematic sense. And I feel like we will see I Am All of Me in the Sonic cinematic universe at some point. So don't worry, random commenter. Your frustrations will soon be realized. Probably, hopefully, maybe. But I trust Jeff Fowler, because as I said, he worked on Shadow the Hedgehog, the game. So long as he's the one directing the inevitable Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off series, I think we're going to see the I Am All of Me motif at some point. That's my rambling. I wanted to get it done and upload it because I thought it was a really cool thought that I had, and I wanted to share it. Yeah, that's everything. Bye-bye.